Hey gang, and welcome to Professor Roth's advising video. So this whole video is going to be about how I go through the advisement process. Those of you that have had advising with me before will recognize a lot of the things that I do. But this video is primarily intended to help you self-advise. So that way if you can't make it in to meet with me to do face-to-face advisement, this can help you get a feel for what advisement is, for how to do this, and hopefully that way you'll be able to advise yourself and follow the same process that I do in order to show you what classes you need to take. So let's just kind of dive in and get started. So you can see that I've pulled up a dashboard. So go ahead and log in to Canvas. Now your dashboard will look a little different than mine because obviously we have different classes. These are the classes that I teach. But also we should all have one thing in common, and that's going to be the Perk Science Academic Advising shell that's located inside Dashboard. So go ahead and let's click on that. Give it a second to pop up, and here we go. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. So there's a bunch of different things on here, but what you'll have access to is is my module that I've created for you on getting advised. So down here at the bottom, it says explore your major. That's a great place to start. All of you know that you have me for an advisor, so let's just go straight to your major. So most of my students are either going to be the 4-year nursing program, so BSNs, pre-BSNs, or I also have some marine science majors, and I have a few wildlife fisheries majors. Sometimes I do get some 2-year option nursing, but if you're a 2-year option nursing, most of that information is going to be located here. Now, Ms. Rivera and Mr. Stokely have gone through and put together a great module for you to go through, so you would click there. But for everyone else, and just for just kind of like a general advisement situation, I'm going to go through the nursing. Now, if you're marine science, if you're wildlife and fisheries, it's the same process. You'll just do it under the marine science tab or the wildlife fisheries tab. So let's just go into nursing. So click on that, and here you are. Here's all the information you'll need to go through and get advised by me. This is exactly step by step what I do in my office, and this, if you follow this process, this will help you be able to advise yourself. So let's just get started. So the first thing you have to do, you've got to know where you're going to transfer to. It's very difficult for me to tell you specifically what to take if you don't know where that you're going, and here's why. The requirements that you need in order to graduate from Gulf Coast Community College and the requirements that you need to get into the place where you're transferring, your senior college, we have to be able to match those up because they're not always the same. There are some universities require different courses than other universities. Now, Gulf Coast, I'm going to give you kind of like a generalized plan of action. Classes I know they're all going to accept, but there's some universities require extra things. Like if you go to South Alabama, South Alabama requires an extra world literature and an extra and the economics class. So there's differences that have to be taken based on where you go. So until you know where you want to go, it's going to be difficult for me to be able to match these two up because we want to make sure that you can graduate from here and that you've taken what you need to get in your college at the same time. So that's primarily what I do during the first part of the advisement process is where do you want to go? So I've included some links on here for the most common places that people transfer to, usually within the state. So the University of Southern Miss, the University of South Alabama, and the William Carey, which also has a great nursing program. So I've already got the links on here for you, so let's just go and let's open. I'm going to just start with the USM. So when you go to USM, to their nursing website, as you can see here, scroll on down and they got a bunch of different information for you, right? If you scroll all the way down, keep on going all the way down to the bottom, you will find the degree plans. Most people go through this, the BSN, Bachelor of Science in Nursing. So let's go there. And underneath this, you can do the degree requirements. This is what's going to tell you the specific courses that they want you to take in order to get into their BSN program. So you can look on here and it has, here's your comps. You got some natural sciences, which can be your Bio 1, your general chemistry. Other things like your World Lit, History 1 and 2, or World Civ 1 and 2, Philosophy, which is other fun stuff that you can take. let's see, here's art appreciation. Here is all the different courses. You can look through and see that they're on there, right? And you can do this for pretty much every single place that you want to go to. You just have to go to that school's website, find their nursing program's webpage, go to it, and then search through that webpage. And I require this, and I suggest this strongly. Become intimately familiar with the website for the nursing program that you wish to transfer into. Even if you're not into nursing, if you're going into wildlife fisheries, or if you're going to marine science, find the place you want to go to and get very comfortable using their website, because that's going to be a big help for you to be able to find the things you need to do. I'm talking you're going to spend a lot of time digging through their website, clicking on links, trying to find exactly what you need. But get familiar with it. I had to do that for this, and you're going to need to do that too. Let's do the same thing for South Alabama, so you can kind of get an idea. So here is the South Alabama's. If you go through here, the traditional BSN pathway, and click, and simply just scroll down, and it has right here requirements for admission to the traditional BSN program. Click, and there's the same thing. Here's your comps, here's your humanities, here's your history and social and behavioral sciences, and so forth and so on. So these are the requirements that you need to get in. And then also the same thing for William Carey. So there's William Carey's. Scroll down a little bit, and boom, right there. Pre-BSN curriculum. Click on that, and here's a list of all the courses you'll need to get in. Now, between the different universities, sometimes they do their course listings different. For example, here we have biology is a BIO, but if you go to USM, it's a BSc for biological sciences. So different places have the different three-letter tag on the beginning and different numbers for the courses. So it's always good to go through and read the description of what those courses are, and to make sure that that's it. But usually, English comp is English comp no matter where you go. Biology is biology no matter where you go. It just depends on what they call it. So don't let that confuse you too much. But be aware that colleges do usually have a different description for those first three letters and the course number for every course that they teach. So once you find out where you want to go, and you've taken a look to see what courses that you'll need, one of the things you'll have to do is kind of compare that with kind of what we offer here. So I've kind of given you in step number 2, I've given you a list of things that are basically the courses that we offer here that generally transfer over into the other nursing programs. I gave you the same thing for wildlife and fisheries. I gave you the same thing for marine science. They're just on the other page. All right. So once you've got that, you can click it and open it. Here's one I already opened. You may have to rotate it. It's set up lengthwise. Sorry, and I had to rotate it over to make it white, to make it landscape. But this kind of gives you a general idea of the courses that we actually offer here that most nursing places require you to have. So this is just a guideline. This is not the courses specifically that you need to take. Again, it depends on where you're going. So that's the list you need to follow. Here's the courses that we offer that you can take that are on that university's list. I generally used to use this for all of my students to help them to find the classes that they need. So I have it set up to where some extra information on here that I've put, you can always mark, if you print this out, you could mark whether or not you've taken the course and still need to take the course. Some courses you may not need. Some you may need to add other courses that you have to have. Keep in mind though that this list is just a guideline, and it says right here, curriculum are designed as guidelines. Consult the university of your choice for specific transfer requirements. So in other words, go to the other university's webpage and look to see what they require for you to get in. Now, if you're here on campus, which a lot of my students are, make sure that you're taking enough credits to be able to get into the dorms. If you're staying in the dorms, to get scholarships, so that way you can get paid for college. So make sure you hit that 15-hour mark. I always suggest to go over. In case you ever drop a class, you'll still be at 15 hours. Most people can go 18 or 19 hours, and I highly suggest that. You can go up to 19 with your scholarship. Anything above that, you have to pay a little extra for. But usually 18 or 19 hours is a pretty big workload. So make sure you're trying to hit that. If you're not in anything and you're just coming from home and you're just doing full-time, then 12 traditional hours is all you need to be full-time. Part-time, I think, is 9 hours. So this is a great resource for you to use. It's got a lot of good information on it. One of the things that you can look and see what I wrote on here to kind of get some extra information. Just keep in mind, if you're taking extra courses, let's say you're in band or you're in sports or you're in dance or anything extra, that's going to add more time to how long you're going to have to be in college, because this list is designed without those things. So if you're going to add band every semester and a color guard, or you're going to be on the dance team, or if you're going to be a cheerleader, or if you're going to play a sport, then you have to be able to add more time, which means you're going to take 1 or 2 less classes from this list every semester. So make sure that you are just be aware of that. This may not be 2 years in and out. For the matter of fact, even with this list like it is, I tell people you're going 3 years. Okay, just get used to it. Now, if you take some summer courses, which I highly recommend doing, that will help speed it up and help keep you on track. Otherwise, you need to just be prepared to go a couple extra semesters at a community college. It's not a 2-year college. When I went to community college, this was not a 2-year college. They say it's a 2-year college because it's your first 2 years of work, but it takes more than 2 years to do the amount of classes that are required for you to get your degree now. So just be aware and just know that's normal. That's how things work. When you get to your senior college, you're going to probably go there for 3 years to get all the stuff that you need. Now, if you're going to go in and out and hardcore push through and do just the classes that you need, congratulations. But I say, take time to smell the roses. All right, so once you've done that, once you know where you want to go, and you know what you need to get in, and you see what courses we offer, now we have to take those courses and go by and look at the graduation checklist, so that way you can get your associate's degree and make sure that you're getting everything you need to graduate from Gulf Coast before you transfer. Now, you don't have to, but I urge you to, and the reason why is when you get your associate's degree completed, when a university or someplace accepts you in, they have to accept all the credits. At least for all the credits that you got A's, B's, and C's on. D's will transfer, but they're going to probably make you retake it, and it costs more to retake it, so do well on those courses. But they may, especially if it's something in your major, they may have you retake it, or retake it just to pull the grade up if you got like a C or something in the course. But otherwise, just make sure that you get if they accept you, they're going to have to take everything if you have your associates. Now, if you don't have your associates, they could make you retake any number of courses, right? So it's kind of like a total package deal when you get your associates. They accept you, they accept everything, right? We want to make sure you get to that point. So let's go down and let's look at the associates checklist. Now, there are 2, Associates of Arts and Science. I always suggest for my nursing majors, go with the Associates of Arts. There's no reason really for you to go with the science one. You may think, oh yeah, Associates of Science, because I'm a nurse and that's a science thing, and no, you don't necessarily need that. This has the only real difference between the 2 is one. If you play your cards right, it's 1 math course, but that means you'll end up taking algebra, trig, and math-based statistics. And that's not bad, but if you don't want to take that 1 extra math, then don't worry about it. No one's going to ask you, hey, what's your associates in arts or science? They're going to say, what's your major, and you just tell them a bachelor's degree in nursing or whatever else you have. Now, if you're marine science or wildlife and fisheries, you're going to need the associates of science. Okay, but for my nursing majors, you could do either one, but I suggest just go with the associates of arts. It's going to be easier for you. Okay, so you can click on that and download one. I've already brought one up, and here it is. Some of you've seen this before, right? This shouldn't be anything new. If you haven't seen this before, this is basically a list of all the stuff that you're going to need in order to graduate from here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that list that you need for your university, and we're going to take this list, the associate's degree list for graduation, and we're going to mash them together to make sure you've got everything that you need. In the second part of this video, I will do just that. I'll run through that process with you. We'll make sure that we're writing down all the classes that you need, and we'll make sure that you get everything that you need in order to graduate from this college. Hopefully, I've been able to explain kind of what the process of advisement is and what my main goal is. Again, you need to know where you're going. We're going to take the things you need to graduate from here. We're going to mash those together to make sure you've got everything you need to graduate and stuff that you need to get into your university. And that's what advisement is. And I hope that helps you, and I hope that this video helps you. Stand by for the second part.